Greetings and welcome once again to the What You've Been Watching podcast, a very special edition, the holiday festivities edition of the What You've Been Watching podcast. I am your host, the host, Marvelous Mike Dudley, joined as always by my co-host, cohort, and personal sex elf,
MD3 Marcus Dudley checking in on the YOU. What's going on out there in podcast land? We are broadcasting live, as always, from the What Ya Been Watching studios right here in Tallahassee, Florida, in the shadow of Doak Campbell Stadium, out here by Bragg Memorial, you know, somewhere on the south side between that and the National Forest. What's going on with you, my brother?
Oh, just enjoying the holiday festivities, you know. Had a good Thanksgiving. I got full of turkey and ham and all sorts of good stuffings. So
celebrated our mother's birthday.
That's right. And grandma's, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That is right. But it always makes us feel good. Around it's Bearcat.
It's Bearcat. Bearcat always makes us feel good.
You know what always makes me feel better, Michael?
Thanksgiving turkey and knowing that you're going to get presents.
Yes, that, but also our lovely introduction music from Mr. A1 himself. You can hear the ho-ho-hoing of it all as he was dashing through these hoes in a one-horse open sleigh. Anyways, no, we just want to give a big shout out, man. We genuinely appreciate the intro music, man. You keep them fucking banging. That bass line on that bad boy is disgusting. So, yeah, find my man at a1reality.music.
That's right.
Yeah, but we'll put the link out there. You'll be able to find it. So, yeah, big shout out to that. Also, please write us in at whatchabeenwatchingpodcast@gmail.com. Where else can they find us, my brother?
They can find us on facebook.com/Dudley Bros Podcast. Or, you know, we out here ringing bells for the Salvation Army. It's not for them, but, you know, we'll take your money.
I was out Christmas caroling the other day, but we weren't singing carols. We were just yelling Tupac lyrics. In people's front yards.
Hail Mary, run, come see.
Yeah, dude, that's like the meanest intro ever. I fucking love Hail Mary. Yeah, he says I'm not a killer, but don't push me, and I'll let you
Paint a perfect picture.
Yeah. The Dave Chappelle sketch where he makes fun of Tupac is also high up there. But anyways, man, for this holiday season, what's been going on, my dude?
Oh, just, you know, running around enjoying festivities, family obligations, you know, the usual stressors.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's sometimes I feel like it's like, hurry up just so we can have a good time.
Oh, yeah. Don't you love when, like, everybody's having a good time, you know, everybody's smiling, they're sitting around the living room, the fire's going, everybody's had a couple of drinks, and then somebody inevitably pulls out their camera and goes, all right, everybody stop. Smile, look like you're having a good time, and then takes a picture, and you're like, you could have just taken a picture of us having a good time. Like,
dude,
now we got to stop and look like we're happy, and like,
I'm all for candid photos. Please just take candid photos. I will not be upset about it.
Yeah.
So I can just keep with the flow of it, man. Yeah. If they're a little bit blurry, but you capture the moment, go with that.
Well, because inevitably what happens is somebody pulls out their phone to take a picture, and then 11 other people go, ooh, get one for me, get one for me. So then you end up having to do the same picture 11 different times when you could just send it in a text to everybody and take the picture one time.
That's very true, but also people act like there's allowed to be bad photos of you that exist.
Yes.
Like don't take this wrong way, but that is how you look at times. That's like your facial expressions of you laughing or smirking or smiling or looking like you farted yourself or whatever it is. Like,
something tells me there's embarrassing photos of you
probably, but I'm just saying those are all real moments that happen that your face contorts that way, you know, or whatever. Like, oh, I'm laughing too big. My teeth are so big. I'm like, yeah, well, you're laughing. I don't know. Yeah. It's whatever. I get it. Just take the candid photo.
Oh, we almost forgot to mention that we are now technologically advanced, living in the future.
Oh, explain it.
You are listening to us on the brand new What You've Been Watching recording setup. Brought to you by Daddy Funds.
Yeah. Thank you, Father X. He made us a deal a long time ago that he would invest not crazy amounts of cash, but you know, he'd drop a little bit of coin for us, and finally took him up on it. Now that we decided that we actually like doing this, and we didn't want to, you know, spend a bunch of money, and then like 3 months later, we're like, we fucking hate recording this.
Right. Let's see if this is like the time they wanted to play Little League baseball, right? Invested like
right.
$600 worth of equipment, and then at the end of the season, they're like, "We're never doing this
Yeah,
again."
baseball sucks. Yeah, no. So no. So if there's a little bit of, if it sounds off in any way, if it's a little too poppy, a little too whatever, a little too muffled, a little too muted, we'll get it right. We are committed to our craft.
Please write us in. Write in. Let us know. We want to hear that feedback. We want to know exactly what you guys think. If this sucks and we should go back to the old setup, then we'll do that. Probably not, because we invested a lot of money in this, but
yeah, a lot of time.
We'll strive to get better.
Yeah, a lot of time as well. A lot of time. But you're also the reason why we made this technological jump. This is going to be a very special episode. Mm-hmm. We're going to try to interview some more people, but this episode we're going to try to get into some of our immediate family members and kind of ask them a couple questions just over the holiday, over our Thanksgiving break, and during my mother's birthday and stuff like that. Just kind of asking them what they've been watching, how everything's going about it. So we're going to see a little bit, not only of a time jump, but you're going to see a little bit of maybe it's going to be a different room we're going to record it in. So just bear with us on that. It's going to be a fun episode. This one's going to be very special. It's kind of a little holiday, get to know the Dudley clan a little bit better.
For sure.
So we'll see how it plays out. But in the meantime and in between time, Michael, we cannot forget the reason why we are here, my brother.
Oh, you got a question?
I do.
I want to hear it.
What you been watching, my brother?
My brother, I went and saw The Marvels, and you should know this because, thankfully, you bought my ticket.
Angie bought your ticket, actually.
Actually, shout out to Angie. Fuck you.
Angie. Yeah, no, rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Look at you trying to steal her credit.
Hold her on high.
Oh, she slaps the shit out of you.
She should. She should. She should. It's well earned.
So, The Marvels, yeah, man.
What'd you think, man?
I gotta be honest, I have some real problems. There's a lot of plot armor in this. There's a lot of things that happen just because. There's a lot of leaps in logic in terms of I'm not exactly sure why people are doing the thing that they're doing in that moment, other than like that's just what the script called for. That being said, I thought it was a really fun movie. I thought it was funny. I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was very charming, and it had a lot of heart. I think that the action sequences were pretty good. I think my main problem with it is it just kind of suffers from, and we kind of talked about this a little bit before, but the superhero fatigue of it all, where once again, it's just sort of random team up to fight big glowy thing in the sky, and it doesn't really add anything to the myth other than the stinger at the end.
I was about to say, hang on now. The last 5 minutes of this movie, not just the sting at the end, but how it closes, which will, I mean, look, it's going to be, this episode's coming out like December 12th or something like that. We're going to spoil it, just letting you know if you haven't seen it yet. It'll probably be on Disney Plus here very soon. But, yeah, man, they form the Young Avengers at the very end.
Yeah.
They begin to form the Young Avengers with Kamala Khan, who, before I dive into all the Young Avengers stuff, I agree with you that it's all, which I'll dive into it more, but she's the heart and soul of this movie, man.
Oh, 100%.
Kamala Khan and her family is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But no, she starts to form the Young Avengers. At the end, she goes out and you see one of my favorite characters of all time, Lucky the Pizza Dog.
That's right.
And you see a young Kate Bishop, or she's like, I'm 22. You see Kate Bishop come in, and Kamala Khan asks her a very similar question to what Nick Fury asked Tony Stark at the end of Iron Man 1.
You have just entered a world that is much larger than you could ever realize.
You just don't know it yet.
That's right.
Yeah. She's like, or maybe you do. But she's like, you know, you're not the only kid superhero. She's like, I'm 22. She's like, did you know Scott Lang has a kid?
That's right. That's right. So basically, it's Kamala Khan forming the Young Avengers, which, yes.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. It's going to be, yeah. I'm sure we'll probably get Speed, Wiccan.
So the two kids from WandaVision.
Right. We'll probably get Eli Bradley as Patriot.
I hope so. I hope
he was introduced briefly in Falcon Winter Soldier.
That's right. That's right.
We're definitely getting, obviously, Kate Bishop as Hawkeye.
Stature, Cassie
Lang. And who else?
Kamala Khan. And then
maybe if we're lucky, we'll get a young Kang the Conqueror as Iron Lad.
Which would be great. It would be a good excuse to keep Kang in the continuity, because it seems that they might be getting rid of him. Maybe or maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see how all that plays
Yeah.
out. I don't want to speculate.
Yeah.
If my guy did what he's accused of, I mean, we've talked about it before. You gotta pay the piper on that one.
Right.
If you didn't, unfortunately, sometimes things happen that just can't be proved. It's an odd way to navigate, man. So I don't want to get into it too much. But we'll see.
Welcome to the Skirting Legal Issues podcast.
I'll say this: not knowing anything about the guy, I like Jonathan Majors as an actor, but again. We'll cross those bridges as they come. But either way, the last 5 minutes of not Miss Marvels, The Marvels is awesome. You get the Young Avengers being formed, and then it has a for the books mid-credit scene, which I'm glad that they're swinging for the fences on.
Can we just go ahead and talk about it so then we can actually talk about the movie so we can just get it out of the way?
Well, yeah, I'm about to, but I'm saying what I was just about to say before. I'm glad that they're swinging for the fences on the mid-credit scenes again, because if you go back to Phase 1, 2, and 3. A lot of progress was made just in the stingers alone.
Oh,
with
sure.
In the last 5 minutes of this movie, Thanos goes and grabs the gauntlet and goes, I'll do it myself.
Let's go back to the first one, Iron Man 1, where, again, we talk about all of a sudden Nick Fury appears and he opens up this door of like, you're going to be part of something much greater than yourself. And like, they cue the Avengers theme music, and you're like, what the fuck? They got Sam Jackson as Nick Fury, and they're going to do the Avengers. Oh, I just came in my nerd pants.
Yeah, and we did. But no, this one, go ahead and tell him. You seem to want to tell him what the mid-credit scene was.
Dude, they introduced the X-Men.
I know, in an alternate universe.
And they got Kelsey Grammer to be Beast. And I lost my shit. Like, I was sitting in the theater just looking at Marcus being like, they're doing what now? What? Huh?
Yeah. At the very end, Monica Rambeau, who will hopefully become Photon, they'll eventually give her the moniker, but she might just be Captain Marvel herself because she's had many monikers as well.
Or might just be Captain Rambeau. Or,
whatever. But she closes the glowy thing in the sky and goes through the other side, and when you find out where she went to on the other side, it's Kelsey Grammer as Beast and her mom as Binary, which is fucking dope.
It's so good.
I thought it was going to be Deadpool, to be honest. I'm like, it's either going to be X-Men, Fantastic Four, or Deadpool. It's the only four I could see.
When at the end, when she finally closes the big glowy thing in the sky, and they talk about how she was heretofore permanently trapped in another reality, I was like, oh god, they're doing another dimensional hopping thing. And I'm really, really glad that they came back to close that loop at the very end, as opposed to like trying to tack it onto something later, because it made me all the more excited for, we just got introduced to the X-Men. Like the thing that you and I have talked about time and time again, like how are they going to do it? How are they going to do it? And they did it. They finally shot their shot. I can't wait.
Yeah. No, this is right when the X-Men get introduced, and we're going to get some video here running soon. Hopefully we can have a long debate about who would win if Marvel and DC fought, like the entire universes. Because that's going to be just a podcast for just me and you.
That's right.
But hey, it'll be a blast. But yeah, no, the X-Men is the one variable that you can't really account for in any universe. So I'm super excited that they're coming in, man.
Yeah, me too.
It's going to be dope. I just get all the toys in the sandbox, honestly, give them all to Kevin Feige, and then we can shut it down for a little while. If they're like, all right, now we're going to reboot it and nobody cares anymore, I'll be like, that's cool, man. I went for 20-something years without them being relevant at all.
20 a good 15-20 year run, like let it go, why not?
I was 22 when Iron Man came out. Or 21, about to be 22, I should say. But yeah, it was a long time. There was a lot of shitty superhero movies, or ones that had potential that fell well short.
Oh, all of them. Like Iron Man was the one that changed the game, literally. I mean, other than maybe
Batman 89 was pretty dope, and Superman 1. I wasn't alive when Superman 1 came out, but it held up.
Sure, I just mean in our lifetime.
For our 100%. So
yeah, maybe Batman 89, but even that was a little bit like, Tim Burton was the one that sold that movie, not necessarily the plot or the characterization.
Nicholson as the Joker, but that's for a different podcast.
Fair point.
That's for a different podcast. We're way off track already.
Anywho's, so the Marvels.
The Marvels. So I'll just tell you what you kind of touched on a little bit, and we can go back and forth a little bit more, if that's cool with you. I dug it, actually. To be honest, like you said, there's a ton of plot armor. At one point, they all kind of teleport, or they trade places with one another as they use their powers. If two of them use their powers at the same time, then they switch places, or however two of them will switch places.
They're quantum entangled.
They're quantumly entangled. And so they do this funny scene where they're kind of like, one will throw up a ball and then use the power, and they do a montage of them learning how to kind of control it or how it works.
It's the training montage from Rocky.
Ultimately. And so the issue I have with the movie is that there's times where you literally see all three of them using their power on screen and not one of them switches. And you're like, but you just spent time setting up that they switch. And so why... I have no idea how the rules work. And to be honest, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Because the second you start diving into this movie, there's a lot to pick apart.
Oh, yeah.
But I will say this. If you take this movie for just surface level entertainment, it is a fucking blast.
Oh, yeah.
In my honest to God opinion.
It is a fun roller coaster. And like I said, it has a lot of heart. It's got a lot of humor. It's got a lot of stuff that like is very visually entertaining. The fight sequences are good. I think that they're cut a little choppy. They're very much in the like the Bourne series where it's like elbow cut, elbow, knee cut. It's that very choppy fighting. And I don't mean like karate
chopping.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll let you get back to it, but I do agree with on that. There's parts of it that they shot really well and aren't choppy, and I really enjoyed those. Right. And then there are parts, not only just with the teleportation and stuff. They did a couple shots where they would switch with each other, and they would keep the camera rolling on it, and I was like, that was awesome. Right. One person teleports up, uses their powers underneath the guy, and then like hammers him to the left, and then the other one would use her powers to pull him back to the party, and like that shit was cool. Right. But they also did a lot of like really quick cuts that kind of took me out of it. But
yeah.
But go ahead. So I was just corroborating what you were saying in terms of I agree.
Yeah. The fight sequences are good. I think Kamala Khan, Iman Vellani, whatever her name is, she is the heart and soul of this entire movie. I mean, like her whole character is just fangirl made good. It's. I think we were kind of talking about it in terms of like. It's very easy for that actress to tap into sort of what the characterization is, because the exact same thing happened to her. Like she was a huge Marvel movies fan, a huge comic book fan, and then literally she gets the call from Kevin Feige one day being like, hey, do you want to come join the Avengers, like for real?
Yeah, do you want to be Miss Marvel in the new upcoming Miss Marvel TV show? No, we talked about it when we reviewed the actual series itself, but she actually has written for the comic book Miss Marvel now. Mm-hmm. And so she was partly responsible for the death and rebirth of Miss Marvel. And the fact, when she talks about it, I saw like a live stream she was doing that made its way to my social media or whatever. And like she was so giddy about it, and it was hilarious to watch Iman Vellani, who plays Miss Marvel, talk about writing it, because she's like, it is crazy. I have these dreams and I write a lot what's in my dreams. And it's funny in the fact of like, I work for Marvel, and so I'm writing down my dreams into words, and then people take my words and then they draw them, and then they color the drawings, and it's like all my brain. And it was so funny because like, sweetheart, that's exactly how comic books work.
That's literally the comic book process.
Yeah, which is her excitement.
You and Stan Lee.
Yeah. Which, hey man, you just got mentioned your name with one of the greats. Not that's saying right. But
not same caliber, but same river.
I mean, your name just got mentioned with them because so it's her. She's infectious, man. Like you can see real deal. The character of Miss Marvel is such a fangirl of Captain Marvel. Right. That's where she derives her name from. And so it's perfectly cast the fact that every time Miss Marvel is on screen with Captain Marvel, she's super giddy and is like, oh my God, we're twinsies.
Right. Yeah.
And it really plays really well. And her family being like, don't you dare hurt my daughter and da-da-da-da-da. I don't want to do the Pakistani accent. I almost just did.
Allow me.
Yeah. But her family's the heartbeat of it. But go ahead. I've been bumping my gums.
No, go ahead.
She kind of made it was hard not to kind of get caught up in the spirit of the movie with her energy being as high as it was. It's like, oh, she's having an awesome time. You can tell, yes, the character she's playing is having an awesome time, but you can kind of tell sometimes it translates of like the actress herself is having a fucking awesome time. So like me in the theater, it was kind of like hard to kind of sit here and be a grouch and pick all this shit apart and be like, that makes no fucking sense. Which there's a lot of it. Trust me. This is a good movie to sit down and be like, well, even within the parameters of suspending your disbelief, you could go for days on this one.
Oh, for sure.
But
yeah.
So, anyways, that's all. It's like 90. It's under 2 hours, so you're in and out.
Yeah, just barely. Yeah. I really liked how, I mean, the whole movie is basically about Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, basically coming to terms with being a role model, like not only to, Monica Rambeau,
who she left
years and years and years ago in the first Marvel movie, or the first Captain Marvel movie. She said, I'll be back before you know it. And then here it is 30 years later, and she just shows up unexpectedly, like, oh, so you're an Avenger now. Okay, cool. Like, good to see you again,
Yeah.
But also to Kamala Khan, just dealing with her fangirl frenzy, and really the whole impetus of the movie is that Captain Marvel not accidentally, inadvertently created a genocide and a civil war amongst the Kree, and that's sort of why she dedicated herself to saving other planets for as long as she has, because she kind of felt a need for a redemptive arc before she could return to her home planet and her normal life and stuff like that, which is why she abandoned Monica and has a hard time connecting with Kamala. So yeah, it was really about someone coming to terms with their own legacy and coming to terms with being a hero and being a role model, and sort of what that all implies, and like how sort of people unnecessarily put you on a pedestal, and it's maybe not all the time, even though it may not be wanted, it's not necessarily unwarranted.
That's true. And even there's a line where Kamala Khan, when they kind of all going into the third act, Kamala Khan goes to Carol Danvers and is like, hey, I kind of smothered you and didn't give you room to just be a real person.
Right.
And so that's on me. And
right.
So, yeah. So, but no, I liked the idea, which, by the way, they do show a quick shot when they're recapping kind of the events of like, hey, here's how the genocide happened. When you destroyed, at the end of Captain Marvel, when you destroyed the Supreme Intelligence, it sent the Kree Empire, or the Kree world of Hala, into a civil war, because they pretty much destroyed their ozone layer, water became a finite source, and this and that and the third. But they do show a quick shot of the Supreme Intelligence, of how it looks in the comic books, with like the green, like plastic frowny face with all the cables running from it,
the
like,
multiple eyes.
Yeah. I was like, oh shit, that's just a little nod for us, because you never really got to see that in Captain Marvel. So,
yeah, it's one of those things where like
it was for us.
Yeah, like MODOK in the previous, in Ant-Man and Quantumania, like, as ridiculous as a concept. I mean, that's a very much like Jack Kirby creation. It's very cosmic scale and just sort of weird angular lines and just very far out acid driven imagery.
Yeah.
So to see that translated into real life, and like how that it looked exactly like the comics and yet still pretty cool. Like, as ridiculous as a concept as that image is, they made it look all right. So kudos to them.
It was probably they probably CGI'd it, but the fact that it's only on screen for 2 seconds, maybe tops, when it shows her go in the room and the door opens and you see the
maybe
face.
A little longer. Between 2 and 10 seconds.
Yeah, I'm saying. But the fact that they did it just for that moment was fucking made my day. It's like fan service, which I will give them credit. Sometimes I understand that they can't save a shitty movie just by doing fan service and being like, check the boxes. But sometimes it's like, I appreciate you doing it, because like that's why we're here. Let's be real here.
Right. We're all fans of the material.
Yes. And so the fact that when you watch the TV show Miss Marvel and you're like, this little armlet that she has sure does remind me of a fucking quantum band.
Mm-hmm.
And surely enough, guess what those fucking bands are? They were the quantum bands, which was dope. And I like the fact that the comic books always say like, oh, they're bands of mass power and they can do that. Like, it doesn't really fucking matter. They're ancient artifacts. These ones control time and space.
It's a MacGuffin to move the plot forward. That's all it is. It's another mystical, all-powerful artifact that's meant to move the plot forward. Who cares?
Yeah.
Move on.
But for us fanboys, we're like, yo, this is the door to Quasar.
Right.
This is the door.
Nova.
Yeah, I don't know if he ever.
He hung out with Quasar.
Oh yeah, yes. I thought you meant did he wear the quantum bands?
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't think he ever wore the quantum bands.
No.
But Miss Marvel did.
Tangentially moves into
Yeah, Captain Marvel did. Like they're huge. They're a big deal. Like who has those can fucking wreck shop, man. That's like a planetary.
Superman, Babe Ruth, all types of shit.
Godzilla.
Yeah, this is the ladies' man with your quantum bands.
With your quantum query. But no, I dug the fact that they're just in there. It's like, hey, the quantum bands are in play now. And plus, you couple on the fact with like at the end of Thor: Love and Thunder, they had Phi Lavelle, who is the current or one of the more recent wearers of the quantum bands. It's like, I see you piecing these puzzles together.
Right. That's right.
Which, speaking of Thor: Love and Thunder, this movie is very silly. It's very, very, very silly, but they don't quite take it to the extreme of Thor: Love and Thunder. Yeah. Where it was a little bit distracting in the sense of like, everything was over the top.
At least the first, second, and third act all had the same tone in this movie. I would argue that Thor: Love and Thunder, the first act, tonally, is very different from the middle act, which is very different from the third act.
Agreed. Which I'm more and more convinced that Thor: Love and Thunder was told from the perspective of Korg, and that he's just embellishing.
Oh, I never thought of that.
As he's telling, because the movie opens and the framing device is him telling the story to a bunch of kids.
Yeah, the refugee kids.
Yeah, the refugee kids. Yeah. And so I'm more and more convinced that the whole movie is an embellishment from Korg.
You know what? That actually might add a new layer of perspective on that. I never thought about that.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's just a theory. I have no idea. But the only reason I even brought it up is because I think Thor: Love and Thunder got a lot of shit for being too silly, and this one toes the line pretty well. There's a musical number in it from one of the guys from BTS. I think that was a big deal because I know a lot of people lost their shit when I saw it in the first time in the audience. Like, woo! It's like, oh,
tell me the BTK Killers in this?
BTS, isn't that the Korean boy band?
I don't know. I'm not gay.
Yeah, I don't know though. I'm just saying I have no idea. I could be wrong. They're like, not every South Korean that sings is in a BTS. I know there is like 8 of them, or like there's a lot of them, so my chances aren't that bad.
Is that like the Korean Menudo?
It's like NSYNC or whatever. They're a fucking global sensation, man.
My musical taste died after like 2007, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, K-pop's a big deal, so okay. I don't know.
Sure, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, no. But either way, there's a musical number in it in which Carol Danvers can only communicate the language's song.
Yeah, they go to a planet where she has a prior history. I'll just, without spoiling it, I'll leave it at that.
She's a princess.
Okay. Or we can just put it all in Front Street.
Yeah, whatever.
But their language is song, and so immediately, the screen, right? The script writes itself at that point. Like, how do we talk through song? Hey, I have some information I'm trying to get, but I don't know how to ask it.
Yeah, and eventually she's like, wait, can we just talk? He's like, yeah, of course. He's like, what do you mean? He doesn't have to sing? He's like, no, he's bilingual. It's a pretty funny joke. Yeah, so it does suffer a lot, this movie, from the villain isn't really fleshed out, which you actually do sympathize with her. Her whole point of, she gets the quantum bands she's going to be stealing resources from other planets. Right. She's like, I'm stealing the water from this one planet, which, by the way, the Skrulls...
It's the plot of Spaceballs.
Oh, yeah. I guess, yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, the fucking great way to simplify it. But poor Skrulls can't catch a break in this movie either. So, the Skrulls apparently are getting their ozone stolen from their little refugee planet. And so she's trying to rebuild Hala. So you kind of sympathize with her a little bit. But
yeah, the home planet, Hala.
Yeah, the home planet of the Kree, Hala, which I mentioned earlier. But for those that are like, I don't fucking keep up with you boys. So that's kind of the whole thing. And so you kind of sympathize with her a little bit. You kind of understand where she's coming from. She still is kind of flat. It's just kind of like Ronan the Accuser was in Guardians, the first one. Just
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah. By the way, what's that actress's name? Anyway, while you're looking that up, off scenes, that's Tom Hiddleston's actual wife. So yeah. The fact that they both get to work in a Marvel movie and get to like compare notes now and be like, so how was your day?
Yeah.
What superhero did you fight today?
Yeah, or you can They're both probably. It's probably because they sign all those damn NDAs.
Yeah. What's her name again? It's
I'm probably butchering the first name. Is Zawe Ashton.
Zoe, maybe.
Zawe Ashton. So Zoe, Zoe.
Okay.
I'm just not sure. I don't want to. I'm sure I'm butchering the pronunciation of it, but whatever. We try. That's what we do here at What You Been Watching.
That's right.
It's kind of a term of endearment now. When we butcher your name, it means that we took the time to Google it or write it down because we want to give you credit. So,
all right. Well, shout out to you, Zoe Ashtray.
But no, it's funny. They sign all those NDAs, and probably Tom Hiddleston was like, "I can't not tell my wife. I've been doing this since 2009, dude. Like, can we clue her in?"
That's right.
He's probably like, "Okay, we'll get her a role." So
listen, I can't say anything, but if I was you, I would read these issues.
Right. He has been probably the longest tenured, right? Him or.
I mean, as far as
I guess
he's
Hemsworth
definitely
too.
showed up in the most movies.
Yeah, no, Hemsworth as well has done a lot. They came in at Thor 1, both of them. So yeah, they've been at it for a while.
Way to go.
Yeah, good. He's so fucking likable. Like everyone that is not even a Marvel fan just likes Tom Hiddleston. Yes, because they've seen obviously the first set of Avengers movies, pretty much before the quote unquote fatigue kicked in. Everyone's like, fucking Loki. Like he. Fucking household name, man. Good for you.
Well, and he came out of left field. I mean, he was doing he had done like British theater and he had done some like British television, but nothing. I mean, hadn't really broken into the States. I think maybe he was in an episode of he was in like Emma or something like that.
Boardwalk Empire or something like that.
Yeah,
or something like that. I know a lot of I know Charlie Cox was as well, so maybe I'm mixing them up, but. He ultimately didn't suffer the Marvel fate in the terms of a lot of times the villain has to be interesting, and a lot of times Marvel just doesn't have that. And obviously with Thanos they do. There's certain ones like Killmonger was incredibly interesting.
Sure, yeah.
Loki stood the test of time of everyone's.
But then you get the counterpoint of that with like Ghost from Quantum Mania.
Right.
You get Malik from. Dark World, right?
Yeah, there's a lot.
Caecilius from the original Doctor Strange. I mean, and on and on and on.
Yeah.
And even
Ronan the Accuser in Guardians 1.
Even people like the Scarlet Witch, who was completely wasted not completely wasted, but just didn't live up to the potential in Doctor Strange.
You didn't think she lived up to the potential in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness? She popped six dudes' heads.
It's not her fault. It's the script's fault. Elizabeth Olsen brought a tour de force in that. I think that's another movie that I think has a lot of plot armor.
She was terrifying in that movie, though.
At a certain point,
she ran through the entire Illuminati. In a matter of
I remember.
moments.
Yeah. She snapped Patrick Stewart's neck.
Yeah, that shit was terrifying, homie.
Yeah.
So either way, that's a debate for a different day. But, well, no, I dug the movie overall. I think it's a fun time. I would recommend seeing it again. Put your plot armor down and just try to enjoy it. And I think
I would agree with that. It's kind of hard to put the plot armor down sometimes because it's so brazenly obvious. Sometimes
it's pretty in your face.
Yeah, where you're just like, well, why would you? All right, well, never mind.
Yeah.
It's like wrestling where they'll start in the center of the ring and they'll throw the guy to the rope and the guy will just bounce off and the dude will, the other guy will hit him with a clothesline. It's like, why not just stop running? And it's part of wrestling where you just got to be like, they have too much momentum. You have to keep going. Yeah. They're so strong that they couldn't stop at the ropes.
No, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Just you have to accept all right, that's just what we need to do to move the fight forward.
There is also if you're a cat lover, this movie is for you.
Oh,
there is a lot of Flurkins in this.
Memories.
It's a really funny scene.
Yeah.
Flurkins consuming space station employees, which they really lean into the whole Flurkins don't eat them. They have pocket dimensions within them, which I'm like, they never say in the movie, but us as Marvel Comics fans are like, I'm such a fucking dork that I know how this works.
It literally just looks like there's a hell demon cat eating somebody, and they're like, oh no, don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. So, but I dug the movie though, man. I would actually recommend it.
I would too.
So, what would you rank it on the What You Been Watching scale?
Oh,
hold on. Before I do that, the only thing I'm a little bit disappointed in.
Too many women?
No, definitely not that. I don't usually get into it with people online, but I actually got into somebody about it. And they're like, fucking MCU. I'm like, don't fucking see it then. I'm on this group in Facebook, and this dude just bitches about everything. It's like, don't go then. And I told him, my whole point to him was, if you've made it up in your mind that this movie's going to be shit because it has a strong female, so therefore it has some propaganda attached to it, and then you go to see the movie just to confirm you're already biased against it, like, that's on you. The lower, and I said, the lower your expectations, the greater your serenity.
Sure.
And I said, full stop.
Say that again.
The lower your expectations, the greater your serenity. And I said, full stop. And and I'm not saying, and I was very clear to point out that, like, it doesn't mean that you can't hold this shit in high regard or get hyped for it or be like, oh man, I have expectations. This movie has a lot of potential. But at the same time, if you've already assigned it meaning, this movie's gonna fucking suck. And then you go in and you're like, yep, it fucking sucked. Well, it's contempt prior to investigation. And I feel zero sympathy for you that you've lost your MCU fun because you fucking decided before the day they announced it, it's gonna fucking suck. Like, have fun.
And it's okay to have expectations going into the movie as long as they are like, how does this move the Marvel continuity forward? How does this tie into other movies? How does this expand the world? How does this explore this character? Like, it's okay to have those expectations, you know? And like,
be hopeful even.
And that's what you should judge the movie on. And that's I honestly feel like that's the thing that you and I have tried to do throughout this whole Marvel encounter is like, judge the movie based on the merits of how does this contribute to the overall universe that they are trying to create. Like, how does this fit in? Some things they've done a bang up job on. Some things it's like, this one doesn't really fit. It feels like they're trying to put a nail in a screw head or like a screw hole, you know? Like it like, yeah, it works and it holds the machine together, but it's not the piece that they needed, you know?
Right. No, I get what you're saying there. It fits, but it doesn't. It protrudes. It's not a smooth. Yeah, I gotcha. I'll stop with the analogy, but I got what you're saying.
We ain't mechanics, Doc.
No. We ain't engineers, Doc. But no, that was my thing. Was just it. If you've assigned it the meaning, or just because there's a strong woman in it, doesn't mean that there's some fucking left wing propaganda. Like, just don't.
Hey man, go woke, go broke. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, like, don't go see it then. Don't.
Yeehaw.
Yeah, just don't go see it then. If it really means that much to you, trust me, there'll be some strapping male movie like soon enough. Go see that then.
Don't worry.
Like,
yeah.
It gets exhausting. And I usually never engage in shit like that. And I didn't frame it as a point of like, hey, you, but I just said, hey, look, this is how I feel about it.
Right.
So, but
not necessarily pointed at like the commenter, but just sort of a general like, I'm not talking directly at you, but I'm talking kind of about you.
Yeah. If it applies to you and you feel like it's at you, then
hey, if the shoe fits, Cinderella.
Yeah, exactly. So but it's yeah, the point I was going to make earlier before I got sidetracked about the Facebook story, which good on me for standing up, using my privilege the right way, I guess. But I guess, I don't know. You tell me how it works. I have no fucking idea. But no, I'm a little bit disappointed, and I was also disappointed in the Miss Marvel TV show. Marvel, don't be afraid to lean into Miss Marvel, her embiggening powers. Mm-hmm. Her whole thing in the comics books is she can stretch and grow, and all. It has nothing to do with light manipulation or any of that. But I mean, they use it to her advantage. She can make a fist and like extend her arms and stuff with the light powers. But I feel like you're a little too afraid on this one, Marvel.
Here's the problem. They still have to do Reed Richards, who has the exact same power set. And so they had to do a different version to tie into a franchise that they already had established.
No, Reed Richards has it.
Reed Richards can stretch any part of his body?
Yeah, I know.
Any part of his body?
Any part of his body. Oh. Including, what does he say in Mallrats? Including his dong? Or whatever. But no, he's a little more rubber. She can like just... She's not quite like, I can stretch and tie myself in a knot. She can just grow, shrink a little bit, and kind of stretch out. But it's a little different. But no, I hear what you're saying, though. But I was just saying, I'm...
It's different brand, same flavor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I was a little bit disappointed that they don't lean into her embiggening powers that she has in the comics. But
I mean, they did a little bit. There's a scene where she grows giant arms in order to grab onto different spaceships and haul herself up and stuff like that.
That's what I'm saying. She can use her light powers adjacent, but But I understand they did it. That's why they needed to be entangled due to their light powers or whatever. But it's like, at one point also they just stopped being entangled at the end of the movie. They're like, okay, it just was like it was fine, and then we touched something. They're like, oh yeah, we don't switch anymore.
Oh, we don't do that anymore.
Yeah, we don't switch anymore. I'm like, oh okay, cool. But all that being said, what would you rate it, my friend?
Oh man, I'm gonna give that. Shit, I should have written some of this down. Let me ask you, what are you going to go ahead and give it, bro?
I'm going to pronounce it wrong.
Okay.
So correct me. But I am going to give it 14 Inhumans transformed by the Terrigen Mists.
Oh.
Because that's actually what Miss Marvel is in the comics, is an Inhuman.
You gotta, that's a deep cut.
It's not a bad review either, though.
That's not bad.
It's pretty favorable review.
Let's see. I'm going to give that...
It is Terrigen Mists, right?
Yeah, Terrigen Mists. Yeah. I'm going to give that 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's my combination. I got to change my locks.
I don't know what that's from.
It's from Spaceballs.
Oh. I haven't seen that movie in a while. Well, it's
Star Wars is the best Spaceballs parody ever made.
Oh yeah. But no, I saw parts of it somewhat about a year ago. I don't know if we ever talked about it, but we have to dive back into that one. Some Mel Brooks greatness. So, but we had other things we were going to talk about. We'll probably put a pin in that for this episode.
Yeah. We still got a bunch of interviews we got
a bunch of interviews. So we'll cut around some of this and we'll have some fun.
So we'll see you on the flip side. And all right, thank you guys for joining us on the special holiday edition of the What You've Been Watching podcast. And we hope to see you guys in the next year. We're going to be celebrating coming up on 2 years now?
We'll be going into year 3, yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, man. This is why we had to upgrade and start doing some things, and there'll be hopefully more coming down the pipeline here. We're going to try to step our game up a little bit, so keep with these modern times. So in the meantime and in between times, happy holidays.
All right. This is the marvelous Mike Dudley.
MD3 signing out.
Go watch a movie.
Talk about it with someone you love. Take us out, Mr. A1.
Happy birthday, Cubs and Ashley. To the interview portion of the What You've Been Watching podcast, Holiday Spectacular Edition. Joining me is middle brother to me and Marcus, MK Dudley Art. How you doing, sir?
Yo. What up?
Hey, man. So, just some real quick questions. What's your favorite holiday movie?
Holiday movie?
Holiday movie.
Across all the holidays.
Sure.
Ooh, I think I could talk about individual holidays better than I could talk about all of the holidays. But if it comes to Christmas, I'm a huge fan of Michael Dougherty's Krampus.
Okay.
It's just fun. And any movie that starts with a Black Friday trampling, I'm down for.
So Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way. You got it. Exactly.
What was it? There was another one that they did. Santa's Sleigh or something like that. I think they did.
I don't think I've seen that one, but
okay,
yeah,
that's the one that's got Bill Goldberg as Santa.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I would watch that. I'm actually really excited about Eli Roth's Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah,
I'm not a huge Eli Roth fan, but it looks fun, so I'm down.
Yeah. And then let's see, what's the other one? God, they just did one. Silent Night. It's a revenge.
Yeah,
Christmas
that came out
movie.
last year, and it has John Leguizamo in it.
No. That's oh god, that's
It's the home invasion movie where Santa saves
right
the
with
day.
David Harbour. Is that Silent Night as well? I don't think it's called Silent. No, this is the one about dude gets home invaded and they murder his I think wife and daughter and shoot him in the throat so he can't speak. So
Okay.
he comes back a year later for Christmas vengeance.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So anything that starts off with a Black Friday trample. Okay.
Yep, I'm down for that. And when it comes to Halloween, I usually watch. I tend to go very old school and watch black and white stuff and any classic. I just watch horror movies all year, so it's kind of like.
It's kind of hard to narrow them down.
Yeah, exactly. It's an all year thing. And when it comes to Halloween, I tend to watch. We watched Nosferatu this year. We watched
F.W. Murnau's.
Yeah, and we watched the Christopher Lee Dracula, Bride of Dracula, or something.
Oh yeah.
Not a good movie, but
No.
it was fun. But it's fun. Were you there when we watched that?
I think so. I think
Yeah,
I was
okay,
there. Yeah.
okay.
The problem with the Christopher Lee Dracula movies is like he did 800 of them, and so at some point they all kind of run together. It's like
Yep.
I can tell you what happens in the movie, but I couldn't tell you what the exact title of it is.
Yeah, it's like a weird Dracula cult.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like Curse of Dracula, Return of the Curse of Dracula, Dracula's Bride, Return of Dracula's Bride, Dracula's Blood, Blood of Dracula.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So what's something you've been watching recently?
Recently, I just started watching Fall of the House of Usher, which is Mike Flanagan, the guy that did Midnight Mass, Haunting of Hill House, Bly Manor. This one I really like. I tend to find his dialogues very cheesy.
Okay.
But this one I like so far. It's really good.
Okay. And
Pretty gory.
What's the sales pitch on it as far as like?
There's the family usher, and it starts off where a inspector is getting the confession statement from the father of the usher family.
Okay.
After each of his kids have died, and he's committed multiple white collar crimes, and he's confessing to the deaths of his kids.
Okay, so it's sort of Succession meets like I don't know, like
Kind of. It's just like his confession is like the framing device, and then each episode kind of focuses on the death of each people in his family, each person in his family.
right. Okay.
And some of it's pretty gruesome.
Yeah, as is my understanding, a lot of the deaths are very much based in like the Poe literature, like the
Yes.
Pit and the Pendulum,
Yeah,
the
it's-
Cask of Amontillado.
Yeah, Mask of Red Death.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
So-
To the point where it's a little heavy-handed. A little.
Is that like when people were watching Sons of Anarchy and they were like it's just like Hamlet? Like, gee, you think?
Yes, kind of like that, yeah. And yeah, what else?
Oh, okay. So other than that, man, just what's some of your favorite holiday memories as far as growing up, traditions or favorite things to do, something you look forward to during the holidays?
Me, I get mad anxiety during holidays. But I love Halloween because there's no expectations and I can do whatever the fuck I want to do.
Right.
Which is usually, I love trick-or-treating, even though it's like...
You're almost 40.
Yeah. Let's bring back trick-or-treating.
For adults.
Yeah, trick-or-treating, man. We went to a burlesque show for Halloween and had a great time at 926. Yeah, really fun time.
So Halloween, just what? Shenanigans, costumes.
Yep, all of it.
Buffoonery.
Yep. Let's get weird.
All right, brother. Well, that pretty much covers it, man. Anything else you want to tag on?
No, man. Happy holidays, I guess.
Oh, check out mkdudleyart.com, right?
MKDudley_art on Instagram.
Okay.
That's really it. Come check me out. Hit me up. Happy holidays.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, and part 2 of the interview process. We're sitting here with the matriarch.
Mama Dukes.
The Mama Dukes, Ms. Lisa. So just a real quick, just brief interview, just a few quick questions, and then we'll send you back out to the festivity. So what is some of your favorite holiday movies that you saw growing up? Or just in general?
Oh, most definitely my favorite growing up is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
The Rankin Bass?
Yeah, of course. I mean, your life depended on those special, like dun 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 dun, dun, you know,
Right.
you came running when you heard that music, and that was universal language for stop what you're doing, run to the house, go sit in the front of the TV because either Charlie Brown's coming on or Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. In fact, I had an LP that was the whole Gene Autry sings Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer album
nice.
that was pristine until you know who got it. Your Aunt Lorraine. Then it was destroyed. But yeah, that was the big thing. Charlie Brown and
Yeah, I mean, you had to come, like when you started hearing that, you know, now presenting a special feature, you had to come see it because you might not see it for another year. In fact, you wouldn't see it for another year.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
No.
There was no reruns, no VHS, yeah.
The only other in-betweens were the Jacques Cousteau National Geographic specials. So you'd come running for those. But yeah, so which is probably why I wanted to be a mermaid, because I wanted to be Jacques Cousteau's partner. But yeah, that was the thing.
Okay, all right. Favorite holiday memories growing up? What something you used to look forward to? Traditions?
Besides eating
Yeah.
my grandmother's food. Well, when we went to my dad's side, my grandmother, you know, she lived on the farm, and the whole huge farm table was, you couldn't even put a plate on there because it was just slam packed full of food, and that she had cooked fresh peas and corn and cream corn, of course, and everything you could imagine.
The whole spread.
And then there's a whole nother table full of all of her desserts, like this coconut cake that she made was like so moist. It was just incredible. Her Martha Washington candy, which was like these little chocolate balls, like just, I don't know, it was like gooey goodness dripped in chocolate. It was
Nice.
fantastic. And then, but one of the biggest things that I remember was she had all the grandchildren had stockings hung by the mantle. Mm-hmm. And it was this old farmhouse. I mean, like in the extra bedroom that they had added on, you could literally see through the floors. Like you could see the chickens running underneath.
Oh.
It was cold as shit because there was one Christmas that Lorraine and I had to spend the night in that back bedroom that had no insulation, and literally you could see the chickens running underneath the floors because it wasn't all put together right.
Yeah, like a typical
We had,
Florida
like,
cracker house kind of thing.
Oh yeah, we had probably 5 homemade quilts just laying on top. It's like you could barely move; they were so heavy. And you know how much I couldn't stand Lorraine growing up. But I was so cold. I'm like, come here, give me warmth. I felt like I was like, what's that movie where the abandoned the plane crashed? And they're
Alive.
All alive. Yeah,
Yeah,
I felt like
yeah.
alive. Snuggling with Lorraine, the very person who I hated. Anyway, that was a good memory. The other memory was the stockings hung on the mantle. It's like this old fireplace that had an insert gap. Yeah. So the other, I guess, sentimental thing that I have about my holidays growing up is just being at Grandma's house in the farmhouse, and she had all of our stockings lined up on the mantle, and the fireplace wasn't actually a real fireplace. It was like this gas burning furnace.
Okay.
But we thought it was terrific. But I'm sure that it did not have central heat and air. Anyway, but so she'd have her stockings, and it was like these little red and white stockings, and she had like blue glitter with her names written in cursive, you know, that she'd personalized. And I just thought they were like the best stockings ever. So as an adult, after Grandma died, I got my stocking back, and it's like it's minuscule. It's minuscule, but like you got an orange in the toe, you got some nuts, you got some sparklers, and maybe a small box of crayons and some kind of other little tchotchke little thing that she got at the dollar store.
That sounds like some German stuff right there. That's
Oh,
that's some German Christmas. Like, you
But-
will have an orange and a crayon, and you will be happy.
Well, but you got to think about this. These people were, you know,
Oh, dirt farmers.
yeah, they were
Yeah.
sharecroppers at first, and then they finally owned their own land and this, that, and the other. But they're from, you know, they're Scottish immigrants from Appalachia, and you know, that's just what you got. And
Right.
but I just thought it was like the best thing, like to wait for the big reveal of the stockings, and every year it was pretty much, like I said, the same thing.
All right, so just kind of coming off of that, other than that, what you been watching? What's something you've been seeing lately that you want to put out there on internet land? What's call it out for the people.
Okay, so you know I'm not a movie person.
Okay.
But I got into Outlander, which I loved. Tried to get you guys to watch it, and you have not done that so far.
That's the Scottish time traveling show.
Yes.
Okay.
And then after that, I started watching Vikings, which I loved as well. And you know, I'm not into gore and killing, but I loved that. So I'm embracing my inner Viking. And in fact, I've named some of the kids at school. Some of the characters in the series. One is Lagertha, which I want to be Lagertha because she's like the coolest thing ever. Like she's beautiful. She can fight. She's sexy. She's like everything you want a woman to be, right?
Okay.
And she can drink some ale as well. So I'm thinking that she's my superhero, you know?
That's your spirit animal?
Yes, she truly is. But then I've got this kid at school who's always dirty, who is a twin. She's got brothers, and so she's a fighter too, and she just doesn't give a shit, you know? She's just balls to the wall, you know, at school. She's a little 2-year-old kid. And I've named her Brita, and we braid her hair, and we call her Brita. She's like, I'm not Brita, you Brita. I'm like, I'm not Brita, I'm Lagertha. But yes, that is a fabulous series if you haven't seen that. Great love stories, great fighting, great, you know. It's very entertaining. You should try that.
Is it fairly historically accurate, or is it
have
more
no
like Dungeons and Dragons? Or
no, it's not. It's more historic than fantasy for
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
You know, yeah.
So it's not like Thor or Odin comes down and is like...
No. I mean, no. No, it's more. Yes, I mean they talk about Thor and
Sure.
Odin and you know all the Freya and all that, but they don't. No, there's nothing magic. Well, a little bit of magical, but nothing that can't be believable. You know what I mean?
Magical, like the shaman whips up like an herbal potion or
Well,
something like that. Or...
yeah, I don't even know what he's called. He's like this old death guy, but he's the seer. He's called the seer, I guess. So I guess he's magical. And then there's other witches and things like that. But
magical in the sense that like he takes some hallucinogenic mushrooms and he's like goes into a cave like I've had a vision.
I don't know what this dude does. He's dirty. He's got these black kind of like croaker sack kind of things he wears. And
Croaker sack?
yeah, I don't know how to describe what he wears, but he's like I don't know. He's got these black lips.
Okay.
You know, he's like really creepy looking.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anything else? What else you been watching?
Again, the caveat being, I don't watch a whole lot. So other than Outlander and then the Vikings, I have not. I tried watching The White Queen,
Okay.
which is more girly and less me. So it's okay. It's just about the politics of being the queen and stuff, and lovers, and you got to marry this person and that person so that the countries can unite and have
Right.
alliances and build an army and that kind of thing. It's pretty good. Not as good as Vikings though. Not as good as Vikings though. Which I'm surprised I say that because, like I said, I am like put a David Attenborough documentary on and go
Right.
on to sleep at the
Right.
right old time of 8:35. So yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, cool. I think that pretty much covers it. So anything you want to put out there as far as plugs, anything like that?
Oh, just call your mother every once in a while. Mothers are great people, and you should bring them things like that they actually like.
Okay.
Like I don't know, food.
The interview is
wine.
over. We're done now. I love you.
Love you too.
All right. Third part of the interview process here. I'm joined by the patriarch, the loins from which we have sprung. Mr. Scott, how you doing, sir?
I'm great, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks. So
Okay.
let me start off by asking, what was something that you used to watch growing up for the holidays?
Cool.
Or not even growing up, just something that you watch. What's your favorite holiday movie or show?
Okay, so we used to on Thanksgiving. We as kids, there were a bunch of us, and they used to play the movie. What's the Yellow Brick Road? Wizard of Oz. Every Thanksgiving night they would show it. So I've probably seen that movie Yeah, a lot of times, like probably 30 times. And I actually really like the movie. It's a great movie. And I just remember that as Thanksgiving night when we were starting to kind of wind down. They'd start at like 8 o'clock. And believe it or not, the kids would have to wind down at 8. The parents wouldn't, but everybody else. So when I was a kid, and then I just kind of still enjoy that movie because for holidays, just because it reminds me a lot of the holidays.
It's kind of a weird
It is.
programming for.
Super.
I mean, it makes sense in terms of it's a classic movie. It's sort of family friendly, so it would make sense that the entire you wouldn't want to program something that necessarily would alienate the audience or like, oh, we have little kids around, we can't watch that. So I guess it makes sense, but it's still kind of, it's not very holiday themed.
It's not a very holiday themed movie. And then, of course, they would have, there's other movies that were more traditional. They were on like the old black and white, the 1950s, and they were on WTBS down in St. Pete. The equivalent of that. I don't know that TBS was around, but it was like the equivalent of that. It was like the off-brand channel, not CBS or ABC,
Right.
And so it was like the local channel.
Gotcha.
That had all that.
Gotcha.
And I can't remember really. Most of those movies, I don't really have a strong recollection. I just really always just remember the Wizard of Oz being like certain movies. Like we watched Jesus Christ Superstar around Easter. We watched.
That's a tradition I have, actually.
Yeah,
So I watch that
me
every
too.
year.
I still watch on every Easter. I watch it and just drink wine and just whatever. And you know me, I'm not religious at all, but it's still a cool tradition. I just remember it. But and then around Christmas, the Jimmy, what's his name? Jimmy Stewart movie.
It's a Wonderful Life.
What? It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah. Merry
Definitely-
Christmas,
Merry
Bedford
Christmas.
Falls.
That and one of the.
I cry every time I watch that movie.
Me
by the
too.
way.
I do too. Actually,
When he comes home and his whole the whole town's there and they're turning out. He's like, I am the richest man. I'm the richest man in Bedford Falls.
Exactly. I love that. You do a good impersonation too. And then also Rudolph. As you know, they're going to start showing pretty much. Watch your television channels because Dr. Seuss The Grinch will be on,
Which you love.
Rudolph I love,
Right.
And so they're going to start showing all those. And if you don't watch those, then you're kind of a pathetic or a misanthrope or something. You're just kind of pathetic as a human being.
I kind of feel like you're leaving off a big one though.
The Grinch, Charlie Brown Christmas.
You didn't say that one.
Oh, I didn't say it.
No,
Okay,
that's-
okay.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
yeah.
how you feel about that Charles Schultz character?
Yeah. You know me. I love it. Ooh, I love that. You know me, Michael. I'm a traditionalist, so I'm pretty sappy and sentimental, and so I love.
Right on.
I like to watch for me, my favorite Thanksgiving movie now. It wasn't around when I was a kid, but Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. is
Oh,
just
yeah.
It's a beautiful movie. It really is. It's super funny.
Yeah.
I love you're going the wrong way. Well, how does he know which way I'm going?
How does he know where we're going?
Yeah. I love that line. It's just so whenever anything is going like crazy, I think you're going the wrong way. Well, how does he know where we're going?
How come he gets a car? Because he's not an asshole.
Exactly. But just John Candy. So it goes. It's consistent with what I was just saying. The tradition, and he's just trying to be home for Thanksgiving, and just he's a sad sack, and he's had some rough things in his life, but he's a really likable guy, and just how Steve Martin starts off as an asshole, and just you can see that he's human, and he's just trying to do his best too, and at the end, it's pretty cool. It's pretty neat.
It's a really good buddy road trip movie.
It is a great buddy road trip movie, and I love just all the things that go wrong. It's perfect. Planes, trains, and automobiles. Whenever I'm on a super long trip and someone asks how to go, I was like, planes, trains, and automobiles. So I love where he's putting his jacket on, when he's still got his seatbelt on, and he can't drive, and like the car catches fire.
I love when
John Candy's trying to sell he sells the
curtain shower
hangers as earrings, and he's just so likable.
They make you look so mature, and they fork over the money. Yeah.
Exactly.
I love when they're driving the car and they get squished between the two semis, and they're screaming at each other's faces, and they have that brief flash where John Candy's dressed up in that devil costume.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I do too. Exactly. It's a beautifully done movie, and it's super touching and sensitive too. It's really cool. It hits all the right spots for me. I love that movie. So
Cool.
Yeah. Really
So
cool,
you mentioned tradition. What were some other traditions growing up that you used to look forward to during the holidays?
oh goodness, you know my family. We're super bound in tradition. So you know that we act out the 12 days of Christmas, and for those of you that don't know what I mean by that is basically we pick an individual who's going to be the partridge in the pear tree, and then we have a group at my house. We'd have as many as 50, 60 people at the house, and somebody would designate who the partridge was going to be, and then as we're going around, the 2 turtle doves and the 3 French hens and all that, so everybody would act out a part, groups of people. When you got up to 10 drummers drumming, or what is it, 10 pipers, no, what is that? Anyway, 10 drummers.
I got to
drumming.
run through the song.
I know,
before
I do too. Exactly. I didn't start at 1, so I can't go to 10 yet. But different groups acting out. Everybody comes up with crazy ideas. You've seen it numerous times. And
It's basically
people
everybody
laying eggs
Yeah,
for the 6 geese a laying. Somebody will strain like they're laying a big egg, and just and that still is a tradition that I love, and my family still does it. We've gotten insane with the partridge in the pear tree. We have basically a room full of costumes that anybody can put on for the partridge, and some of them are quite sacrilegious. It would be Mother Mary giving birth, or whatever, just insane stuff.
So yeah, the partridge has to come out 12 rounds basically
12
in a
rounds.
different
And
costume every time.
And we hold the partridge in a pear, and you just hold it until the partridge appears, and then we laugh our asses off. So it's really cool. It's a blast. So that's a great tradition. The cabins are really nice. We're headed there now, down to the family cabins to spend Thanksgiving together, and we spend New Year's there too. And so I love this next stretch of holidays the best. They're Thanksgiving through New Year's is just a lot of quality family time. That's my jam. I couldn't be happier. I don't need anything else other than that. Just family. So
Very cool. Very cool.
So.
And then other than that, what's something you've been watching recently that you want to put out there into the ether?
So it's not a movie,
Okay.
but I have been watching. I did watch a movie recently that I'll tell you about briefly. It's called The Ranch Hand, and it's Peter Fonda as a ranch hand who went off robbing and riding off and robbing banks and doing whatever, and he comes home with his partner to his farmhouse where his wife and kid are, and the wife's like, "Oh, great, nice to see you."
Right.
And I quit loving you. I've moved on with my life, and if you think you're just going to come back here and like we're going to be an item again, you're wrong. You can sleep out in the barn. And so it's him trying to win her back, and it's really interesting, and it's a really strong female role, which is interesting for a cowboy movie.
Who's the wife?
That's a good question. I knew that question, and if you saw her, can I Google it real fast?
Yeah.
So, and then there's also the other character. His buddy is someone, something Owens.
I don't know it.
When you hear the name, and it's weird that he did this movie because most of the other roles he kind of was a misanthrope, like a really mean and really like nasty character. And in this movie, he's actually kind of a like a decent. I mean, he's a bad guy, but he's a decent bad guy, if you know what I mean. He's got
One of those good bad guys.
He's just got some decent characteristics to him. So yeah, it's Peter Fonda right after he did the motorcycle movie.
Easy Rider.
Easy Rider, right after he did that, and so it's just a really fascinating. Okay, well, this says The Ranch Hand is a cheap all-sex porn, which is not the one I'm
Not the
talking
one you
about.
saw.
So,
You sure?
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of seems like Peter Fonda's gig.
He was in. Hang on, let me look at his list of movies. It was an amazing movie. I really liked it, and I should know more about it. But I really liked the fact that it had. He was in a really cool role in it. Just the hired hand is what it was. That's what
The hired hand.
The hired hand, right? And so she treats him like a hired hand when he comes home. And
we got
1971 film.
Peter Fonda, Warren Oates, Verna Bloom, Rita Rogers. Let's see.
his friend Arch was so it's
Warren Oates. Okay, yeah, I know Warren Oates. He did a bunch.
Yeah, Warren Oates, and he was
always like the captain in the war movies or the.
But he was always like a mean character.
Yeah.
And in this
always...
movie, he's like super. He's really redeeming. And the woman, did you figure out who that was?
Verna Bloom.
Verna Bloom. And boy, oh boy, talk about a good-looking woman. I'd come home to her too. I'd have come home a lot earlier. But anyway, just a cool movie. But you know me, I love cowboy movies.
Sure.
I've been watching Band of Brothers again, and
the HBO joint.
Yeah, to me, cowboy movies and war movies are a lot alike. In terms of just, there's some violence in them, but there's also a lot of times there's that black and white. Some movies are black and white about the good guy and the bad guy. Other times there's some ambiguity about which side. You know, if you're the Nazis coming in and wiping out a village, and you're the bad guy, and then you're the Americans coming over and bombing,
right?
And you kill a bunch of civilians too. Does it really matter to the civilians whether you're the Nazi or the guy dropping bombs out of the sky? And so there's some of that ambiguity, moral ambiguity that happens just like they do in Westerns. And so I've been watching that show. It's really an extended movie. You know, I mean, it's not even fair, really. The character development, obviously, you don't have a 2 or 3 hour window to work with.
Yeah, it's like a
2-season long, each 10 episodes.
Yeah,
so you really understand the characters and a lot better. So it's kind of not a fair comparison, but
it's what you've been watching.
It is, and it's really cool. And what I've been reading is I just finished.
We don't do that here.
Well, I know, but it's actually been turned into a movie. I just the movie about the killing of the flowers or the
Killers of the Blood Moon.
Blood Moon. I read that book and it was amazing.
That was was that McCormick?
No. I can't remember who the author was, but it was amazing. Gilbert Grape. Who's Eating Gilbert Grape was in it.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm nervous. I'm not used to being in front of a mic like this, so sorry. But he was.
I love that your go-to for Leonardo DiCaprio is what's eating Gilbert Grape.
For me, it is. That's my yeah. Well, Titanic or whatever. I guess I could have said.
Some people would say Django Unchained.
Yeah,
some people would,
Yeah. I that was a
Inception.
Weird movie. Yeah. Django Unchained. I didn't.
No, I liked when he played the little autistic kid. That was my favorite.
I did. I liked that. It was touching. I'm sentimental. I'm an old sap. But so I read that book, and apparently the movie did a really nice job of. It seemed like a really hard book to turn into a movie because the things are not linear. They're not chronological in it. They kind of bounce back and forth somewhat in it, and so pretty cool. And then as soon as I finished that, I started listening to a book that's now a TV series also that they've turned into, and it's All the Light You Cannot See, and it's about a little blind girl in World War II. That
sounds real uplifting.
It is dark, but
because you can't see.
Exactly, it's dark because you can't see. But the author, I know you love words. This author is amazing, and part of it is so cool because he writes in a really almost a Hemingway-esque form, in that it's real staccato.
Very punchy.
A lot of it is very punchy and stuff, and so he'll say things that might take you or me less time, but you a lot of time to come up with a description of something, and he'll just say it in like 10 words, and you're just like, my gosh, he just nailed it. I'm there.
The efficiency of the language.
Yeah, it's so incredible. And so I think you'd really like him as an author. Cool. But they've made it. There was a movie about it, apparently, a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And then now there's a TV series about it that they're doing the book. And I can't wait to see that because I think that they can flesh out the characters in the way that they need to be fleshed out. And so, a lot of interesting stuff. I love the fact that there's so many options right now between, HBO and Netflix and Paramount and all that stuff. There's just so much. And then you can always go back and see all the classics. And I still am looking forward to coming on and doing my discussion about the cowboy movies.
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
My favorite
Yeah,
westerns.
yeah. We're gonna set that up here
I've-
soon.
Yeah, I've been rearranging some of them on my list and rewatching some.
Okay.
So and the Ranch Hand is on there now, and it wasn't before. So
Well, there you go.
The Hired Hand. So
The Hired Hand, right.
So.
Or watch the Ranch Hand. That's
yeah,
also
exactly,
cool.
Exactly.
You
yeah.
get your jollies
Sounds
how you
like
get
an
it.
it sounds like an interesting one too. So yeah. So
All right, man. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
thanks. I appreciate it. Have a great holiday.
Love you, dude.
Love you.